At some point, maybe in your 20s, maybe later, you will notice something a little strange. You have a phone full of people you could text right now. But if something actually went wrong, if you really needed someone to talk to, you'd sit there staring at that screen, not knowing who to call. And not because you did something wrong, not because you're a bad person, just because you never figured out how to keep people close once school ended. And nobody told you that making real friends as an adult was going to be this hard. Think about how you made your first friends. You didn't plan it, you didn't have to impress anyone. You just sat next to someone at lunch, or ended up in the same class, or lived on the same street. That's it. That was the whole thing. And here's the part that's easy to miss. It wasn't just that you were near each other. It's that you were near each other over and over again with nothing specific to do. You'd knock on someone's door after school, no plan, no reason. You'd just hang out, make something up to do, talk about nothing. That kind of time, lazy, open, repeated, is exactly what turns a stranger into a real friend. You weren't trying. It just happened naturally because the situation made it happen. School did it for you. Didn't have to think about it. Now think about your life right now. When was the last time you spent an afternoon with someone and had nothing specific to do? When was the last time you saw the same person multiple times a week without it being a scheduled thing? For most adults, that basically never happens anymore, and that's where the problem starts. Here's the weird thing though, you're not actually alone. You're around people constantly, you work with people, you have neighbors, you're never truly isolated, and yet something still feels off. So it's not just about being near people, something else changed, and I think it's this. As adults, we have this silent rule that we're not supposed to need people too much. Wanting closeness feels almost embarrassing, like if you reach out first, you're being desperate. Like if you say, I miss hanging out, you're coming on too strong. So instead, we wait. We assume the other person is busy or doesn't care, and the months go by. Here's something that might actually surprise you. Studies have shown, and this is one of those things that sounds obvious once you hear it, but most people never act on, that when someone reaches out just to say, hey, thinking of you, the person sending the message almost always thinks the other person will find it weird or annoying, but the person receiving it, they love it. They feel genuinely happy. Every single time they think they got a small gift. That gap between how awkward we think it'll be and how good it actually feels for the other person, that gap is quietly killing a lot of friendships before they even get a chance to start. But there's one more thing, and this one goes a little deeper. When we were kids, we didn't have a mask on. We just showed up. Awkward, loud, weird, insecure. We didn't care. We didn't know how to perform yet. We just were whatever we were, and somehow that made it easy to connect. But at some point, slowly, without noticing, we learned to show people only the good version, and that version makes a lot of friends. But it doesn't make real friends, because real friendship needs you to actually show up. The actual you, the one that's stressed or bored or embarrassed. Real connection only happens when two people stop performing for each other, and that's terrifying as an adult, because the older we get, the more we have to lose. The more we worry about what people think, so we stay on the surface, and the surface feels safe, but it also feels lonely. Most people are lonelier than they look. Think about that for a second. The people you see every day, at work, at school, on your street, most of them are walking around with that same quiet feeling you have. That feeling of not being truly known by anyone. They just don't say it, because you don't say it either. Everyone is waiting for someone else to go first. The world makes it really easy to look connected. You can have hundreds of followers, be active in group chats, always have plans on the weekend, and still feel completely alone in the way that actually matters. Because there's a difference between being around people and being known by them. And a lot of us are spending years in the first category, hoping somehow it'll turn into the second without ever doing the thing that makes that happen. So what do you actually do? I'm not going to say just put yourself out there, it doesn't help. Here's what actually works, and it's almost boring how simple it is. Show up in the same place with the same people more than once. That's it. Not with a plan, not with an agenda, just again and again. The gym buddy, the person you keep running into at that coffee shop, the coworker you end up eating lunch with a few times. Friendships in adulthood almost always grow out of that kind of repeated low-key contact. You're not trying to make a friend, you're just there, and then you're there again. And slowly something shifts, and then when you feel that small pull towards someone, be the one who goes first. Text them first. Ask how they're actually doing. Share something real, not just the highlight reel. Reach out when you think of someone, not just when you need something. It'll feel a little uncomfortable, maybe even awkward, but almost every time the other person will be glad you did. You're not being too much. You're not being cringe. You're just being human. And the thing every human being has always wanted since forever is pretty simple: to be around people who actually know you.